Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I'm Brett Chapin. That's Daisy Egan.
Before we get to our amazing guest,
Yes,
I just want to say, for those of you in New York, if you guys could do me the good favor of taking pictures in Times Square of the Batman, or I guess it's not. I guess okay. So the Batman movie that's coming out called Rise, or Rise from the whatever the hell it's called. There's this, I guess, a thing going around on the social media sites of all the banners that are in Times Square, and it's got like Batman and Catwoman and whoever the villain is, and they all say Rise, and somebody's photoshopped Elaine Stritch's face into all of them.
What?
Yeah. So you just look at it and you think Rise. So if you're in the Times Square area, maybe take a quick pic and send it to us.
Maybe David can do that.
I mean, it won't have Elaine Stritch on it, but it'll make me laugh anyway.
Right.
Rise. All right.
That's a guest we need to get on the show. Elaine Stritch. Love it. But we have with us today, and by the way, if you have any questions for our guest, David Rotera, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. And as I was saying, we have with us David Rotera. Hey, David.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Here in New York, on the phone with you guys.
Here virtually.
Virtually, yes, exactly.
Well, David has a long and storied career for being such a young man on Broadway. He has been associate and assistant director in many shows, and one project that he's working on right now is being the director in residence of Spider-Man on Broadway. How is everything going with that, David?
It's going really, really well. We're very busy. We're sort of, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Patrick Page is leaving our show, and so we're in rehearsals now with his replacement, and a bunch of, the cast has been working on the show for 2 years, so it's sort of about that time.
Is Luther Creek still in the show?
I'm sorry?
Is Luther Creek still in the show?
Yes, Luther is still in the show.
Please tell him I said hi.
Oh, I will.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. He's wonderful.
Yes.
And so, we're having a lot of turnover right now. So we're very busy in rehearsals and putting in new cast members, which is exciting and fun. And then sort of the really exciting part of my job is getting to rehearse new people.
So who do you have coming in?
We have, oh God, now you're asking me to remember all their names.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. I don't want to screw up their names. I honestly cannot remember their last names right now.
That's
but we
all right.
have somebody named Brett, someone named Ashley, and someone named India.
India?
Yes.
Nice.
Who's actually an LA native. And let me see if I can pull up their last names. I just met them. They just started this week, and because they're in the ensemble, I actually haven't been working with them too closely yet. But let me see if I can get that for you.
I can't even imagine what it must be like to get that phone call. Hey, you are in the ensemble of Spider-Man on Broadway.
Yeah. I think it's pretty incredible for them. And our show is so intense and huge that they work really hard all night. And so it's an intense gig all around.
How is the mood there these days? I mean, we should probably mention the white elephant in the room. Obviously for people who might not be familiar, there was some scandal around the show with the director and a replacement and technical difficulties.
Yeah. I actually just started in January, so I sort of missed all of the sort of lead up. The lawsuits and things sort of started around when I started. But, this cast and crew, we have an incredible stage management team on the show. There are 7 of them. It's huge.
Oh, my God.
Because they've been under a microscope from day one of rehearsal, I think that they, and unfortunately I wasn't there to sort of see this happen, or fortunately, but they are so bonded and they are so close and so tight, and this sort of that stuff really stays out of the building.
Oh, that's great.
They're here to do their jobs. They are professionals. They're all really good friends, and that stuff stays out for the most part. I mean, pretty much entirely. Like it does not affect what's going on every day at the Foxwoods,
Oh,
which
that's
is actually really special. This is a really, really special cast. I've worked on a lot of shows, and this, it's interesting when you work on Broadway. In a way, the company is not as close as if you're on the road or if you're out of town.
Yeah.
Because you have your life in New York, so you don't have to hang out with your castmates every day. But this company, I think, also because they were in tech for an extremely long period of time. I think it was like between 6 and 9 months.
Oh my God!
So, yeah. But they're bonded in a way that Broadway casts usually aren't, and they're extremely supportive of each other. It's just a really, really great group.
And in spite of the issues with the show, they're bonded in a way that no other cast on Broadway is bonded right now. I think that's really special.
I would say that is the case. Yeah, in spite of all of that. Yeah.
Is the show going to tour? Is it possible for the show to tour?
There is talk. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. There's a lot of discussion about other sit-down companies, but I don't know. None of that is finalized yet, and there's very little details that they sort of give us.
I would imagine that
plans.
The people in Vegas are chomping at the bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm sure they are. I can't imagine they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So that stuff. I'm sure that somebody higher up than I am is talking a lot about that. They're definitely planning something at some point.
What do you think makes Spider-Man on Broadway different from other shows that you might see when you go down to Broadway? Why should someone see Spider-Man rather than another show?
I think that there are a lot of reasons. I think our show, for one thing, has a score by U2, so it's a pop score. It's a pop rock score, which is different than there are other pop rock scores on Broadway, but this is specifically
but
U2,
not written by U2.
Right, yeah. And so there's that specific sound. But also our show is an event. Even more so than a regular Broadway show, which is also an event. Our show is an actual event. It's just huge, and the flying is so exciting, and and our set does all sorts of crazy things. And then deep with it, and sort of popping out of all of that, there's an incredible heart. We all know the story of Spider-Man, and our show sort of embodies that same spirit. It's the great mantra of the show is, with great power comes great responsibility, and so our show sort of embodies that as well. And I think that's really why that was sort of heady, but I think that's really what audiences sort of go away with when they leave the show, feeling really good. We saw this amazing spectacle. At the end of the day, there's a real heart there.
Yeah, I would imagine there has to be a real story there in order to keep it going. It can't just keep going on spectacle. So it's obviously got heart.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, if you have any questions for our guest, director in residence of Spider-Man on Broadway and creator of Dick Punch, David Ratora, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225, and say hi to our engineer, Mr. Paul Madrid.
Dick Punch is quite a thing to end on.
We'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Daisy on CRN Digital Talk.
Do you have really